Hi, I'm Elinor Silverstein, and today I'm here with my very dear friend Linda Tellington-Jones, and we're making a short video to help a brand newborn baby, just a couple of days old, who's having a little bit of a hard time with breathing and reflux, and also came into the world with a little bit of kidney inflammation. And so the baby has been checked by the doctors. Everything is okay, but let's make the baby's first days on this earth a little bit easier. So Linda, let's start with the reflux and using Tellington T-Touch. What would you recommend we do?
It's so interesting, Eleanor, that we discovered that when we have the simple imagining the face of a clock that you put on your chest, and we're going to put the numbers 6, 9, 12, and 3 on it, and we're going to very gently, just with the gentlest contact, so that you can actually move the skin on my chest, in a circle in the quarter. So I'm just catching with my heel of the hand at 6, quarter up to 9, 12, 3, 6, and 9. And just release, take a deep breath, and just send absolute love to this tiny being. And with all your imagination and all the love you can pour into this being. And what that does, what we've discovered, we call this 1 1/4 circle on the chest. We call this a heart hug. And what we discovered when we were actually, I was teaching this in Germany many years ago, the husband of one of the women came in and he was just going to see what this was like. He was going to drop her off. And so he followed us, he stayed with us. And we started with the heart hug with the intention of just bringing us to a place of peace. And that's what Elinor were talking about with this infant is just this lovely place of peace. And what happened at the lunch break, this man came back and he said, I'm going to sign up for the whole class because I went dared after this heart hug to go and drink a cup of coffee. And that's something I cannot do without getting really terrible reflux. And it just didn't happen. And when I thought about it, I just did it again and have no trouble. And so that's where we discovered that actually what we call the heart hug that brings us to a place of peace actually works also for reflex.
So imagine the parents have the baby in their arm. Would they use their pads of their fingers to go a little bit? What would you recommend then?
Well, the baby can just be also lying with one hand under the back and just very gently with the tips of the fingers. Just imagine the space of the clock and move it in one circle in the quarter. But this is not a massage. You move it with the lightest possible contact, Eleanor, because this T-Touch it's a message, not a massage. It's a message to the cells to actually support the body's amazing ability for self-healing and wellness. So it's the lightest possible touches and also a little smile, just smiling at this little being, because when we smile, we activate our feel-good hormones, the serotonin, and that really makes a difference. So what I recommend is to make sure you do it as lightly as possible. Hold your elbows so you're stabilizing your hand just to get the idea of how light I want you to do this. So you make a connection with the thumb so your hand isn't just out here in the air. And with the with the pad of your finger, move the skin on your eyelid in one circle and a quarter with the lightest possible contact. And when you do that, that's what we call a 1 pressure out of 1 to 10. It's just the lightest whisper of a movement. And when we do this, we're activating this body's amazing ability for self-wellness and self-healing. And smiling is really important because when we focus, our tendency is to, oh dear, I've got to do this correct. No, no, just smile, send great love, and 1.25 circles.
I actually see more clearly. Thank you. So for the
Good
reflux,
idea. We all can do this because it makes a
I'll
difference.
use this. So for that would be for reflux, but I think also for the breathing, they can do this on the chest, but also around the ribs too, then maybe for helping the baby to get the breathing
Right.
back into harmony.
I need a little infant here with me in my hands because you just, on the lap or on the bed, just do this little circle and a little lift upwards. The gentlest movement, you cannot imagine how gentle this is. Just around the ribs. Oops, sorry. Like 1.25 little lift, just very gently. Remember, we're sending a message to the body to awaken, support actually our body's amazing ability for self-healing. So I circle and on my own ribs, I have to use my fingers this way, but on the on the infant, you can just use maybe this part very gently. So ribs.
Now, tell us again how this is not massage because this is wakening up the cellular intelligence. Can you tell us more about that? So that way, people will realize that doing it in one area is doing it everywhere in that way.
Well, you're just going to move around on the ribs, but the thing is, it's well known in the world of science that our bodies um, has the ability to heal itself. And when we do this 1.25 with this lightest touch, it's to me, it's like turning a key to enter this phenomenal divine intelligence in every cell in our body. So we're just supporting that amazing ability and seeing the beauty. It's for me, it's like the wow factor. Look at this infant, and instead of thinking all the things that right now you feel like are going wrong, just see the beauty and the amazing being that this is.
Thank you, Linda. I think the parents will get a lot from this. And for everybody else who watches this, see what you can do for yourself so simply and easy.
And send love and blessings to this little being and the mama and dad.
Thank you, Linda.
Happy Thanksgiving.